Hello and welcome back to Cad's Football Talks, where we talk all things Manchester United as a United fan, but also we do talk about football in general. What we have got today, though, guys, is breaking news. Ruben Amorim gets 3 years, says Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I mean, just when you think you know, this something happens. You know what I mean? You just can't call it with this club. I tell you, this club. I don't even know, man. Where do I stand with it? I mean, I literally just made a video about if you don't see Kobe Mainoo fitting into your system, maybe your system isn't right. Now, I am part of that group where we back the manager. You know, you want the manager to be backed. That's what being a Manchester United fan is. It is supporting your manager, and you know, I've been on the fence about this for a bit now. I'll get into the quotes in just a second, but the fact that we have been switching and changing managers now for so long, I'm getting tired of it. But I was also on the fence where I was thinking, like, well, maybe actually, are we sticking with the right manager? Like, it's great that you want to stick with the manager. I'm all for it. But is this the right manager to be sticking with? Seems like it's like, oh, we should have done that with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Or Jose Mourinho, when we were finishing second in the league. Sorry, I got a bit of indigestion. Just I had a big ass dinner, So my missus gets home from work late. I get home earlier, so I put a pizza on because I was hungry, and then she came back and cooked bangers and mash. So I essentially had 2 dinners. So I may be burping up my guts here and there, but bear with me. So yeah, I'll read you the quotes. Let's get into it. Come on, right. So on the BBC here, we've got. There have been plenty of external observers saying 40-year-old Amorim will not succeed at United, criticising him for refusing to change the 3-4-2-1 system. I admittedly have been on that critique right there, because, this is a results business and we are doing shit. So, I'm also be patient and kind of on that side of the fence too. I know people don't want to hear being sat on the fence. I know you want a definitive answer. But I'm also like, every time we sack a manager, it gets worse. So I'm kind of there too. But okay, Ratcliffe says he is not interested in such talk and feels it comes from a position of ignorance. The press, quote, sometimes I don't understand, he said. They want overnight success. They think it's a light switch. You flick a switch and it's all going to be roses tomorrow. You can't run a club like Manchester United on knee-jerk reactions to some journalists who go off on one every week. Okay. Where's the bit where he says he needs 3 years? Because that's what I was going on about. That's what I was looking at. Okay, well, they've kind of just skipped that whole point. But, yeah, okay. So we're missing that. I can't find the quote. Let me just go. Let's go on to trusted Twitter because that's always, we can always trust Twitter, can't we? Okay, so here we go. Another quote. We can show more here. He's not had the best of seasons. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years. That's where I would be. The press, sometimes as you go, there you go. But that was the original quote at the beginning. He's not had the best of seasons. You can say that again. But he needs to demonstrate he's a great coach over 3 years. I just don't. I mean, I appreciate that, and maybe it would take some of the toxicity out of the media. But then again, I don't think it will because the media need to use United to get clicks, and they don't like us when we're doing well. See, my issue currently is that I don't think you can definitively say you're going to back the manager for 3 years. Where was our midfielder? I am on the lines of I was very. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I was actually on the lines that we did have a pretty good summer transfer window. Actually, after the season that we'd had, I didn't expect any of the signings that we did have. But when we were looking at Baliba, I generally thought we were going to get that midfielder, and I was so excited because I thought, that's just going to cover us that extra. And yeah, you need a few transfer windows to sort that out, but even a loan deal for a midfielder would have been really helpful, I think, just to add some bits in there. Or play Kobe Mainoo and stop putting Bruno in the 10. that's my argument with Ruben Amorim is stop putting Bruno in the midfield. Um, there's already a few things that he does which I'm definitely not like sold on. But yeah, apparently he's been back for 3 years. I don't know. I mean, if he loses the next 5 games really badly, how can you back him? If you don't get any European football, how can you back him? You're going to lose profits, and sponsorship deals and all that are going to be asking questions. We're sponsoring Manchester United, and Manchester United are close to relegation. You can't sustain that. So, how far are they? They say it, but could it just be a political piece? Could it just be for the press? If it was just in light of taking some of the negative spotlight of Amorim, then yeah, I'm all for that. And essentially, the idea of backing a manager is perfect. We want that in general, but also at the same time, you've got to get the results as well, and we want to see that. And I want to see Manchester United playing good football, and I do understand that. Like last year, we want a football team with identity. I'm not seeing any identity with Manchester United under Ten Hag, and then Ruben comes in with an identity that he refuses to change, shift, or slightly tweak in any way possible. And although I will say there was some tweaks in the Brentford game. Nope, that was terrible. The Sunderland game. There was some tweaks in the Sunderland game, wasn't there? So, we saw that, and obviously the 4-4-2 style or the 5-4-1 that sort of moved around, and the press, which was more like a 3-2-5 or something. So there were definitely some tweaks in the Sunderland game, but we've got Anfield away. You can't do anything else away. That is away. Sorry, we've got Liverpool away at Anfield, is what I'm trying to say. And to be honest with you, that the idea of that gives me a nervous breakdown. But we do have an all right record there recently. But we also lost 7-0 kind of recently. So please play Lemens. I think Mount needs to start for that game. I think and Bumo needs to start. Definitely bring on Kuna. I think that obviously the Kuna debate, because he's Ruben Amorim's expensive summer signing, first signing of the window, needs to be playing. But I think Mount's earned his place, and I think he'll come on with good energy that we will need. And maybe we can bring Kuna on for that firepower in the second half, probably later on. But I definitely think you need Mount up there, and you definitely need Mbumo. And Bruno's going to play in the midfield, so stuck on these nuts, that's basically the answer. Every time you think to yourself, you want to say to Ruben Amorim on the press goes, why don't you play Bruno in his position? And he's just going to say, suck on these nuts is the answer, and not give you a definitive answer as to why. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I'm interested to hear your opinion, guys. That's the update. Looks like Ruben Amorim's got 3 years on paper, so we'll see. But I'll keep you up to date. Obviously, there's plenty of channels you can go to get football news. That's not what this is about. We're not trying to be competing with the other fan pages. This is just a place where if you relate to me and you want to come on and vent, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to be making... Sorry, I got a bit of a snotty nose. We're going to be making United content. And yes, I'll fill you in on the news because United fans tend to keep up to date anyway. So this isn't me, I'm not Indicator. I'm not David Ornstein. I'm not dropping exclusives here, right? This is just a page where we can go and talk. And maybe if you've got like-minded opinions, and there will be pre-match reviews and there will be post-match reactions where, you can come celebrate. But there are bigger channels for, the watch-alongs and whatnot. Maybe we'll do watch-alongs. I don't know. I kind of feel that kind of takes away from... what other channels have built, but, we never know. We might get to a stage where we will have people who want to do watch-alongs, but that won't be for a while anyway. I don't have enough subscribers to do watch-alongs, I think. I think you need 50, so, yeah, like I said, guys. And also, if you're new to the channel, yes, all of this is very, very pretty, but the plaque is obviously for my other channel, which is at 188.5k. That's my reaction channel, which I've not paused. I need to put a lot of energy into this because YouTube channels take time to grow, and so a lot of my thoughts and passion is going into this because I love football and I love Manchester United, and I will die before I ever stop supporting Manchester United, whether we're in League One or not. So yeah, United, let's go. Come on. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll keep you updated for the evening show again. Hopefully there'll be some more news and what's going on around and whatnot, and we'll discuss it basically. I'm not here to drop the news. I'm just here to talk about the news that is at Manchester United every day because, of course, it all seems to be Manchester United all the time. I don't know if that's because I'm a fan or if it's because we're always in the headlines, but fuck your life, bing bang. See you in a bit, guys. Cheers.